me. Anyways, we are reading again the 2004 O'Reilly Factor for Kids, described at the beginning of the book as a survival guide for America's families. So it's pretty terrible, is the point. We are going to start with, I think, the back of the book where he gives the glossary. I'm going to check something. Hell yeah, guys. I'm watching myself for a second to make sure that I could actually hear me this time. Anyways, the back of the book has glossary of IM terms. So instant messaging, because this is 2004 and we're still calling it IM. But there weren't a ton of phrases that were like, I guess, known in the general lexicon at the time. So he just kind of makes up shit just willy nilly. So I like CMIIW. Correct me if I'm wrong. Not a thing anybody's going to say. DEGT, don't even go there. GAL, so you just say gal and it means get a life, stuff like that. So I'm going to keep that page marked for myself so we can reference it again later. He doesn't want, there's a whole chapter on bullying, and he doesn't want kids to bully each other, apparently. And yet there is a whole thing about pinheads and smart operators. So teaching you what is pinheaded. A pinhead does not wear a seatbelt. Okay. A pinhead is a kid who whines, begs, and cajoles to get her way at home. Hey, her. He never just picks a gender and goes with it. He wasn't doing it just because he switches genders around for sure. So don't like that. Oh, it's reflected to me, but not reflected to you guys. Wonderful. Anyways, then it says UGTBK. So let's reference the back of the book and find out what that acronym is supposed to mean in IM terms. Does it not even say? Oh, it says you got to be kidding. There only two are watching you. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, Jesus, now it's 21. All right. Hello, guys. Nice to see you. I am reading the Bill O'Reilly book for kids that came out in 2004. Oh, hit the like, everybody from King Loco. Thank you so much. That's really nice of you. But, anyways, he's going through what is a pinhead and what's a smart operator, apparently. Thank you, Aaliyah. I think you're pretty too. I don't know you, but I'm sure you are. Uh, a smart operator is a kid who looks out for siblings at school in the neighborhood. All right, that's good. No matter how much they embarrass or annoy you, you've got to be kidding. But he uses the UGTBK. Uh, All right, I don't know who that person is. Sorry. Oh yeah. So I was just at the part where it's saying Pinhead is a kid who whines, begs, and cajoles to get her way at home. Her, that's very dumb. He's just assuming that the ladies are annoying. Your parents don't deserve to have to deal with such behavior. You deserve better for yourself. You're on the way to adulthood, so it's time to learn that you cannot always get your way. Oh my God, I don't like that he's like talking to women about how they can't always get their way when he paid out millions in settlements for sexual harassment. Hey Salem, how are you doing? Uh, yeah, that's kind of creepy. A smart operator is a kid who stops and thinks. Take a time out from your busy schedule, you're socializing, you're worrying, whatever. Look around you. See, that's Did you take the time to look up at Mars in 2003 when it was closer to Earth than it will ever be again in your lifetime? Is that true that in 2003 3. That was the closest the moon was ever going to get to us. I am reading the Bill O'Reilly book for kids, The O'Reilly Factor for Children. There's something strange about your face, odd as a garment of a charm, elegance and extreme beauty. Thank you. That is so sweet of you. Yeah, I have a big nose ring on, and my face is just weird too. My face is generally strange, I guess. But parts of this are all right. Like, it's not the worst thing that you've ever said to a child. And then it'll just use the R slur out of nowhere. So I got to be really careful and read ahead slightly in this book, because it can just go from 0 to 100 sometimes. This part is about, oh, a pinhead is a kid who believes that horoscopes actually predict the future. They do not. Use your head. Have fun with them if you like, but do not think that celestial objects billions of miles away are influencing your chances of getting a date for the prom or meeting Hillary Duff. YYSSLIBTO. We got to reference the back of the book, the glossary of IM terms, to figure out what that means. Means yeah, sure, like I believe that one. Yeah, definitely. People are going to use that. But I like that he's so angry about horoscopes. Then a smart operator is a kid who watches the O'Reilly Factor. No, thank you. Oh no. I have my Scientology bookmark in the page labeled stereotypes. And quite frankly, I am never ever going to read that page on stream, because it is so dark and weird. My friends, when we were reading the book for the first time, were like, oh, haha, watch that page just be a list of stereotypes. And it is, they're in bold. Uh, uh, Good luck. Take care of yourself, my dear. Went to sleep. Sleep well. Have a beautiful evening. Yeah. So it's not just, yeah, my popular videos are 15 years old because I just signed back into this account and I actually haven't uploaded any real videos. I've only been streaming and posting shorts because I don't really know how to edit. I mean, I guess everybody can do basic editing, but every time I get on a computer, it gives me extreme anxiety. So I haven't posted a real video yet. I will at some point, but it's a 15-year-old channel. It was my teenage channel. Technically, it was from when I was 15 years old. So it's been as much time as I was old at the time. So this chapter is about health, and I'm kind of terrified by it because I'm pretty sure it's just going to be fat shaming. I saw one part of it in bold as I was scrolling. You don't scroll through a book, you flip through a book. Anyways, and I saw body image in quotes, and I bet he's going to make fun of people for having a good body image. That's my guess as to what's going to happen, and we're going to read and find out exactly how offensive this gets. Okay, so starting, I don't want to say strong. It says, number 1, all in bold. I'm not saying that you are unattractive or unlikable because you are overweight. I feel like you might be. I'm not saying that it will be easy to cut down on bad food and start exercising on a regular basis. I don't like where this is going. Most of all, I'm not saying that you will become wildly happy when you begin to eat smart and exercise smart. Oh no, the next sentence is talking about, uh, yeah, that depression is associated with that. I disagree. I I just think that this is bad. Is Better health is good for one simple reason: you're less likely to get sick. All right. Oh, oh no, he's just talking about obesity a ton. And I hate that. I think Bill O'Reilly is the last person who should be talking about that sort of stuff. And I'm not 30, I'm in my 30s now. I just turned 32. So technically, I have videos on my channel that are privated that go back like 17 years. And I some stuff is just too cringe to allow into the world. It's not worth it. All right. Oh, okay. A pinhead is a kid who was bored. Bitch, I'm bored all the time. Bored, even if you don't live in the most exciting part of the world and don't have a gazillion bucks to spend on entertainment, you have more than almost anyone else did in all of history. Okay, fair, but that doesn't mean that you can't be bored. You have gadgets, libraries, clubs, and sports teams. It Than anyone else in all of history. And then he names things that people have had for a very long time. What are we counting as gadgets? Is like the wheel a gadget? Because one could argue that. I am reading the Unhinged book, yes. It's a beautiful blue-eyed weird girl again. What up? Thank you very much. It is the Unhinged book, Bill O'Reilly Factor for Kids, a survival guide for America's families, and it is terrible. It's real bad. Anyways, he's making fun of children for being bored sometimes. The wheel isn't a gadget. What would we consider a gadget, though? Like, he's saying that we have stuff that nobody's had throughout all of history. And then he lists gadgets, libraries, clubs, and sports teams. And you could make a solid argument that we've had pretty much all of those things for most of human history. 1K subscribers soon. Oh, thank you. Let's hope. That would be really cool. I had more than 1K back when I ran this channel as a kid. And uh, yeah, of course, they deleted a bunch of bots. So I'm sure there were a bunch of bots. But yeah, feel free to subscribe, friends. I'm happy to have you around. Oh, do. Put user in timeout. I would call those utilities like the wheel. A gadget is usually handheld and reliable. Uh, yeah, I think you could say that a gadget. Well, I wouldn't say a gadget is reliable always because our phones aren't always reliable, and they're gadgets for sure. I feel like there are a lot of unreliable. Think about Danny Gonzalez with the AI pen. That feels strongly like it is a gadget, but one that is not reliable. And Yes Bling, he makes fun of kids for being bored in this book. He calls them pinheads. A pinhead is a kid who is bored. Bored. Then it goes on to talk about you have more than almost anyone else did in all of history. You have gadgets, libraries, clubs, and sports teams. Gadgets, libraries of Alexandria. So you could say that goes back a while. Clubs, one could argue that any grouping of people throughout all time was a club. That kind of counts. And when he says clubs, maybe instead he means like the bar, like when you go clubbing. That would We haven't had that throughout all of time. But like the Sumerians, they gave themselves a name, like their place. That's a club that counts. Uh, the closest and longest relationship I've had is with my phone. I'd say it's pretty reliable and making me miserable. Oh well, Bling, I feel you there. My phone, I've been trying to consume a little less on my phone and occasionally do things on my phone. Like streaming counts as making something, I guess. And that feels better to do on my phone than always constantly consuming things. Uh, a bored kid, I admit, is hard for me to understand. Look around, think, do something, learn. If you're bored, you only have yourself to blame, which gets us nowhere. Forget the blame, rev up your mind. That is a lot. It feels rude. I don't like how hard he's coming at me. That's what she said. That's what all the women who he paid off said. Oh no, that was an awful joke. Hmm. Shouldn't have taken a sip there to allow time for that to land. Um, Blink twice if Riley is pointing a gun at you. I don't even know if he's still alive. Yesterday I was saying, like, I hope not, but who knows? The fact that he's in irrelevance for the most part feels really good. Like, I titled the stream today reading a conservative children's book because when I titled it reading the Bill O'Reilly book for kids yesterday, most of my comments were like, "Oh, who's Bill O'Reilly?" And that made me so happy. That was one of the greatest things I've ever seen, is that, who knows, maybe I'm him. Dude, I would so love it if Bill O'Reilly was watching my stream making fun of him. That would be the greatest thing that's ever happened to me. Oh, maybe you're him in another life? Yeesh, I don't think you want to be. He's settled a lot of harassment cases. He is creepy. Okay, I just looked down and I saw the word butt in quotes, so I gotta figure out what this is saying. A pinhead is a kid who finds a way to use the word butt in every other sentence, especially when shouting in the hallways at school. Okay, Curtis Connor. This man's just straight up making fun of Curtis Connor at this point, and me, because I saw the word butt and I was like, haha, funny. Um, yeah, an egotistical, attention seeking person's worst nightmare is people forgetting them. Accurate. That's why we should just forget about Bill O'Reilly, other than this book. And FF, where are you from? I'm from Orlando originally. So this channel started when I was in Orlando. Uh, so he's making fun of any kid who says the word butt and finds butts funny, which they objectively are. So I think that's super uncool of him. It says, sure, TV situation comedies. Situation comedies. He sounds so old, but sure, TV situation comedies rely on this word when the writers can't think of anything really funny. What can I say? It sounds stupid to me. SSINF. Again, there is a glossary in the back of IM terms because this is from 2004. So the instant messaging terms, but he makes up most of them. So it's, you always got to hop to the back. And what did he say? SSINF. That means so stupid it's not funny. I think this book is SSIIF. So stupid it is funny. This is my favorite book. Yesterday was really, I learned a lesson. I almost said some horrifying shit because I was just reading the book out loud, just like nothing, not even thinking about the fact that he's going to say slurs in the book, or uh, the page of stereotypes. I'm not going to read the page of stereotypes, but I am going to point out that the last in his list, it's 6, and they're some of the worst things you've ever heard in your life. But the last one is uh, Italian Americans are all overweight. And I just think that's funny as fuck. He is at the beginning of the book being like, hey, I'm not making fun of anybody who's overweight. He says that. That's a quote directly from him. And then in the stereotypes section, he's like, haha, Italians. Do you want to try another thing like gaming or that? I can't play video games because I get motion sickness. So it doesn't work for me. Uh, no, he didn't say that stereotype about Black people. He said a different one that is so racist, I've never heard it in my life. And I'm from the South. So that is saying something that I have never even heard that. But the one about women is women cannot learn to become physicians. That's number 3. So gotta love that. Number 5 is men are incapable of caring for babies. I feel like that's something that he just tells his wife is true about him so that he doesn't have to do any of the taking care of his probably many children or grandchildren. Ew, it's so creepy thinking about Bill O'Reilly having grandchildren. Dude, motion sickness from video games is wild. I'm so bummed about it. You have no idea. What's a physician again? It's a doctor. So that's not true. Yeah, no, it's not true. Women absolutely can be physicians. Crazy that that's in bold on this list. It is a bananas list. By the way, me having a Scientology bookmark is because uh, I'm obsessed with them in a way that I hate them. Absolutely not out here repping them. I lost a viewer, and quite frankly, I hope it's somebody who's like, she's gonna shit talk Scientology. I'm out. Ooh, maybe one of these days we can read Dianetics because I own that too. Uh, First human do not want to gaming. Yo, I wish I could video game. So I do want to. It would be the coolest thing, uh, but can't. And about Bill O'Reilly, just because you're a grown adult monster doesn't mean you should treat kids like adults. Yeah, exactly. This is the weirdest book because it's both severely talking down to everybody and also kind of treating them too much like adults. I don't know what age range this is for. 2004, I was 9, 10, 11, I was 12. So I got this book when I was 12, which my parents are nice people. I'm sure they didn't know the contents of the book when they bought it for me. But I will say, anybody who's ever watched The O'Reilly Factor should know that this man is a monster and an absolute psychopath. At some point, he's talking in another section about how it's so easy to think that politics is just people yelling at each other. And it's like, well, yeah, that's what your show is. You basically invented that, just the people yelling at each other thing on political shows. So, all right. Uh, some adults know how it feels to be lost, but wouldn't help a kid just to be friendly. At 14, I must have been like 10. 19 now. I was born in 2004. Oh, wow. 2004 feels so far away and so recent at the same time. It's crazy. But have fun being 19. 19's so frustrating, but it ended up being a good year for me. At least he's right about politics. He's right about politics in the one regard of, yes, they are crazy and just people shouting at each other and being ridiculous, but it's kind of his fault for it. So, uh, a smart operator is a kid who is accepting of parental discipline. I'm so glad he's not my dad. Oh God. Uh, It's not easy to take, especially when you want to stay out late for a special concert or dance. It's not fair, you cry. But the shrinks tell us that deep down, okay, I don't like when people call them shrinks. It feels like you're very against therapists when you call them that, but whatever, who knows? Maybe it's just because I'm so anti Scientology brained that anytime anybody seems like they don't like therapists, I'm like, are you one of the Scientologists? What the hell is a smart operator? According to Bill O'Reilly, there are pinheads and smart operators, and those are the two things that you can be: is either a pinhead or a smart operator. So a pinhead is a kid who is bored. Smart operator is a kid who's accepting of parental discipline. Deep down, kids feel safer when their parents establish guidelines and stick to them. Oh God, if the parents are wavering, it might be time for me to write an O'Reilly guide for parents. I cannot imagine what an O'Reilly guide for parents would do to the adults of America and thusly to the mental health of the kids in America. Because writing a book for kids is already dark enough and terrible. But if you were doing more to directly teach parents how to poorly parent their children, that'd be disgusting. Bro must have wanted Oppenheimer as a kid, dude. Uh, he's saying, sorry about the dance. There will be others, and you'll be ready for them when the time is right. It's a school dance, my guy. Calm down. Parental guidelines back then were do what I tell you or you're getting the belt slash punched. Accurate, dude. So that's why I'm like wondering how much his book would just be like, I think you need to. I'm not gonna say because I don't want my stream to get shut down as I'm just saying hyperbolic stuff. Oh, I saw my stream lag for 2 seconds. That's all right. It's doing fine. I just double check on it every now and then. Okay, smart operator is a kid who looks past her neighborhood. Okay, why is it saying her again? Sometimes it says him for like normal stuff, and then sometimes it says her for like the weird things. Uh, who looks past her neighborhood, town, state, and country to see the world outside. Bold statement coming from Bill O'Reilly, looking at the world outside and looking past your own place where you are. That doesn't make any sense. Says on television and magazine and newspapers, in some classes and in conversations with people who've traveled, you can learn about the variety of human life and behavior that exists on this huge planet. The more you learn, the more you understand yourself, your friends, and your family. IRMC, listen up. Gotta check for IRMC. That means I rest my case. Again, a thing nobody's ever said in abbreviated form. But yeah, see, he'll say stuff that does make sense and is correct, but then coming from him, it's like, well, I know who you are. So why are you uh, trying to say that people need to understand and be kind to each other when that's not anything you say on your TV show, old TV show. I'm glad it got taken away from him. Did the O'Reilly guy skip school? Would have used, uh, uh, wouldn't be surprised if a kid reading that book would turn into a serial killer. Little people though. And yes, I was going to Bling. Were you the one who said you're 19 actually? Because yeah, using they them terms for gender neutral is what you should do when talking about um multiple people who genders you don't know or are all of them, but uh that actually didn't in 2004 that wasn't even really taught. It was the general grammatical way to go about it, but they didn't like recognize that oh you could use it for non-binary people because most people tried to pretend like non-binary people didn't even exist back then. It was a crazy time. Like you being born in 2004, you're lucky because things are better now. The world's still garbage, but at least we have ways to discuss things better now when before everybody was just it seemed like everybody was just trying to like push everything under the rug and ignore lots of different people who very much existed in 2004 and before. But yeah, like I go by all pronouns, and I really wish I'd had they them pronouns to use in school because that would have been really cool. Binary like programming and stuff, no, like uh non-binary people. Uh evil people though. Dude, this really is so evil. Yeah, I'm thinking about how terrible people used to be and uh and I came out when I was 14, so 2006, and people were really mean about it. That's my school. everybody at school was really terrible to me for coming out as bi, but I've just always known that I was bi and I didn't really feel the need to keep it a secret. Even now, I've known uh, some people to like get really it's right to be freaked out sometimes, like in the South and stuff still, when and really all over with being gay. But I was so it feels like everybody hated me so much at home that now I really enjoy getting to be so openly gay and having it be better than it used to be. So still terrible, but better. You came out and said bi. No, I came out as bi, like bisexual, pansexual, really. But that phrase didn't exist when I came out, so it's just kind of habit that I keep saying bi. But it works fine. I look down at the pinhead thing again about a kid who says but. Okay, a pinhead is a kid who makes fun of someone else for being different, whatever that means. What do you mean, whatever that means, Bill O'Reilly? You make fun of people for being different all the time. In the long run, the different types are likely to be more successful than the members of the herd, but that gives them little comfort when you're being cruel to them. Okay. See, that's accurate. You can't be cruel to children, which is why it's crazy that in the paragraph above it, you made fun of kids for being bored. Your brain is still forming. If you train it to practice cruelty, that behavior will lock in. Is that what you did? Was you practice cruelty and that behavior locked in for you, Bill O'Reilly? And you will very likely lead a miserable life, devoid of the kind of loving relationships that enable one to thrive. I'd say that having to settle multiple harassment cases in your job would not be thriving and not being having a lot of loving relationships. So I'm going to go ahead and guess that it's because you practiced cruelty and you live a miserable life. God, I want Bill O'Reilly to watch this one day. Bro contradicts himself more than a liar. Yeah, he's such a liar. He's locking in the cruelty. Dude, he's so cruel. It's crazy. So it's wild. Oh no. Oh, I just looked down and saw the words people thrive on being hugged. Where my hug at, Bill O'Reilly? Oh no. He settled multiple harassment cases. Uh, Whoop. Do 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 do. Getting rid of a weird thing. Okay. I think the book is about him explaining his life. He is the pinhead. He truly is. Oh my god. But a smart operator, last one of the smart operators on this page, is a kid who hugs his parents even at this age. Again, what age am I supposed to be? 12? Because that's when I got the book. But okay. Okay, do it when no one your age is looking, but do it. People thrive on being hugged. This is true in nurseries and in nursing homes. I don't like the idea of Bill O'Reilly hugging anybody, let alone going into a nursery and just hugging random babies. Please don't do that, Bill O'Reilly. I know that all kinds of emotional turmoil and misunderstanding might be going on in your house right now, but is that a reason not to hug your father or mother? IDTS, which I imagine means I don't think so. It does. It means I don't think so, which is dumb because we already have IDK. But he says, I know that all kinds of emotional turmoil and misunderstanding might be going on in your house right now. Okay. He says, is that a reason not to hug your father or mother? Probably. You don't know their situation. That's people thrive by being hugged. I barely got hugged. What am I doing with my life? I think you're doing just fine. I think you're going to be all right. You don't need to be one of the wear my hug at people like Bill O'Reilly is. And I like that you acknowledged that, yeah, he definitely is one of those people because definitely. All right. Oh, uh, Another pinhead one is a pinhead gets sunburned. Okay. Oh, no. Oh, why is this the next sentence in the children's book? It says, okay, a nice even tan can make you look healthy and sexy. Ew, Bill O'Reilly, I'm 12. Stop it. Well, I mean, me, not me now, but then, mm, dude, he is a troll. He is not even one of like the internet trolls, just a troll like a goblin, you know? It's Nilbog. Have you guys seen Troll 2? Everybody's seen Troll 2. It's an incredible movie. If you haven't, you should. Okay, so a pinhead gets sunburned and somebody with a nice even tan looks sexy. And he's teaching this to children. Okay. Or it can advertise to your friends that you've had a great winter vacation at the beach. Okay, but he's getting into excessive sun exposure, can lead to skin cancers. Okay, heed the warnings. What a weird. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was going to say what a weird thing to say to children. And I think we got to narrow down what age children he's talking to because it says Boston University's Alan Geller led a study that found that only 1/3 of all 12 to 18-year-olds in the United States use sunscreen. So this book is for 12 to 18-year-olds to teach them to use sunscreen. Okay. This book must be a troll. Oh, I'm convinced he just copy pasted the shit in his personal journal book. Yeah, probably. Dude, I have an aunt who writes conservative books and conservative children's books too. I'll go through them at some point when I feel like absolutely decimating my relationship with that side of the family, I guess. But it is bonkers. And it literally is just like journal entries and blog posts that are all really unhinged and really dark. This is unhinged, but technically kind of less dark than most of the stuff that Bill O'Reilly normally says. But we're learning that blah, blah, blah. He's quoting the CDC, which is funny because Bill O'Reilly stopped believing in the CDC during COVID, I'm pretty sure. And your family hates you or something. No, they don't. Just I have very conservative or like super MAGA side of my family. And they've written some insane stuff that I'd love to read on here, but it would make Thanksgiving super duper awkward. So they wouldn't hate me. It'd just feel very strange, but I'll get around to it at some point. All right. Let me get to another pinhead and ooh, making plans. No, I don't want to know what his plans are. I want another pinhead and uh I don't know why I highlighted some things in this book when I was a kid. Uh, oh, you want to know what's dark? A lying monster, a monster who doesn't need anyone, or himself a monster who loves the thrill of the hunt. That is exactly what Bill O'Reilly is, and it's terrifying. Oh, no. I just read in all bold false self esteem is not really self esteem. Okay, it's an emotional band aid applied by someone else and it will come off in the shower. So, people saying nice things to you is not the, the, it's not good. It's not good to have anybody say nice things to you as a child. This is for children again. But the other one says, your parents won't be there to protect you when you don't get a promotion or pay raise at work. Okay, well, your parents can't necessarily do anything about you getting bad grades now either. But whatever, because he's saying preparing for the realities of the world outside school now will help you cope with them better in the future. Yeah. Uh, Sorry, I had to go back. I get really worried about just reading it straight through because there's so much horrifying stuff in this book. So you really got to be careful and read ahead. I have false self-esteem is real, but there's more to it. It depends. Yeah. Uh, do I have plans for the future? I do. I'm an assistant director. So that is what I do for my career. And then this is what I've been doing when I'm not at work. And I start a new show next week. I'm second assistant director. So I get to lead a little team and it's going to be a really good time. I love working on set. But yeah, those are my plans for the future, just to continue on in my film career. I also write and act, but what I do day to day is working on set, being a production assistant or assistant director. And don't worry, we here. Thank you. See, I get to have company while I'm not at work. And it's really nice. Uh, okay, let's see what he's going to say. I So you have power over other people. Great job. I don't have, I wouldn't describe it, I guess, as power over other people, but am I in a position on set where I'm trusted to make decisions? Yes. And choose how to delegate those decisions and relay and handle stuff on my own. Yeah, it took a really long time to work up to that point, which is really nice. I'm really proud of myself. And I hate to say that, but I'm not proud of myself for many things often. So this one's an accomplishment I do have. And oh, you write? I do write. Thank you. It's very fun. One day, maybe I'll get one of my projects funded and I won't be an assistant director, I'll be a director. Or let somebody else direct it and just write it and maybe act in it. That a lot of that would be my goal on set. But for right now, being an assistant director is really fun and I enjoy it. But FF, you were playing games? No worries, dude. Play games, have a grand old time, hang out here when you can, and don't when you can't, you know? Uh, uh, I wouldn't trust you if you said my coffee wasn't spiked. Definitely understand if your teammates get scared, bring them coffee. I can write stories. Dude, tell me about some of the stories you've written. I love that. But I don't know if you were telling me that you wouldn't trust me, say that your coffee's not spiked. I wouldn't spike your coffee. I've never done that to any of the actors that I've worked with. And I'm not smearing my orange lipstick. Good to know. This is the perfect color orange. I was wearing green in my thumbnail, and I have green, and I might put it back on. It's really cool. I'm unhinged. If you want someone to help you build a world, tell me I'll write something. Oh, thank you. I wouldn't trust you. Fair. That's a fair thing to say to me, quite frankly. I mean, I am a trustworthy person, but I definitely give off the vibes of somebody who's not trustworthy, I feel like. I think that's my energy is very sus, but that's all right. I like it. Uh, so Bill O'Reilly is saying uh, the concept of developing self-esteem in children is one of the most abused on the planet. The concept, uh, oh no, uh, sorry, the chat of FF being like, Bling, be careful, pretty funny. But the concept of developing self-esteem in children seems like a good concept if you were to ask me, but hey, maybe that's just me. It's certainly not Bill O'Reilly's take, is that children should feel good about themselves. Let me put it this way. It's a good idea that has been dragged through the mud by jerks, some of whom may be parents or teachers, you know. So, teaching the kids, do not listen to your parents or teachers when they try to give you good self esteem. You should not have good self esteem. You should hate yourself. That's the only way to get better. Thanks, Bill O'Reilly. I appreciate it. This was definitely great for me as a 12-year-old, for sure. Um, okay, here's what I think self esteem should mean. These are all in bold and it's another numbered list. If you look in the mirror and figure out for yourself, or you look in the mirror and figure out for yourself what is good about you. Okay, cool. You decide what your strengths are. Yes, you have some. We all do. Going strong, doing all right. As I say for a lot of these, he'll start off being fairly normal, and it's like, okay, that's correct. I did just see on the next page the words enter the self esteem police. But to continue on this list, number two, while you're looking, you're honest about your weaknesses. Yes, you have some. We all do. Okay, so he was building children up one sentence ago, and now he's letting them know that you need to figure out what's wrong about yourself, you stupid little 12-year-old. And then you need to do not ever expect anyone else to give you self esteem. Does the word self ring a bell? I understand needing to believe in yourself and having self esteem come from yourself and not exclusively outside sources. But uh, no, people can say nice things to you. And if they're people who you respect and whose opinions you respect, you're allowed to feel good about that and feel like it improves your own view of yourself. It should already be good. But yeah, if it's somebody that you respect saying something nice to you, that's allowed to boost your self esteem a little bit, man. Like, calm down. Again, this is for children. Healthy self esteem can help you accomplish your goals, but fake self esteem can ruin your life. Before I talk about the good kind, let's look at the bad kind. So, false self esteem in his mind is uh okay, again, sorry, I had to read ahead a little bit because every now and then he says something so unhinged that I can't read it out loud. So when I'm wanting to talk about something he's saying, I got to double check it first. It started something like this. Back in the 1960s, long before you were born, educators got the idea that every kid should be told that he or she is a special human being. Fine, that's the truth. You are unique. I'm unique. Is what that says. It's is unhinged, absolutely unhinged. This sentence claims that in the 1960s is when teachers started telling children that they were worth something. I feel like a lot of civil rights happened in the 60s. And I feel like maybe that's what Bill O'Reilly is upset about. And I don't like his characterization that civil rights are telling every kid that they're special. Jesus Christ. Uh, but I really love how bitter he is when he's like, fine, that's the truth. You are unique. I'm unique. Incredible. But then this basically sane idea got screwed up. Basically sane, the idea that everybody is unique is a basically sane idea that got screwed up. Let's figure out how it got screwed up. Certain people that decided that each of us, for the sake of our self esteem, I super wonder who these certain people are, but yikes, decide that each of us, for the sake of our self esteem, should be protected from competition. This feels like directly directed at minority students. That is exactly what it feels like, and it's horrifying. Oh no. In other words, they decided that kids should be protected from the real world. Okay, I feel like when it's he's talking about the 1960s. Uh, there's my story. It's done based on a true story. Read if you want. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention to you. That's no worries at all. I'm gonna read it back in just a minute because I can't read that while reading this without getting wildly distracted. So you were totally good. Uh, Basically, what I was reading is a part where he's really annoyed that kids have any self esteem, and saying that in the 60s, educators started protecting kids and that that's bad. So, real educators should be teaching you about that very world for your own good. That feels terrible. Here's what I mean. Let's figure out what he means because I am pretty fascinated to see what he's trying to say he means. Here's what I mean. I can't sing. Él no puede cantar. Sorry, that's. Did you guys ever see Veggie Tales where he's singing the dance of the cucumber or the song of the cucumber? But it's pobre tomate, no es triste, él no puede cantar. And every time I see the words I can't sing, I think of that anyways. Uh, I could prove that if you were within hearing distance, I could prove that if you were within hearing distance, but you would suffer greatly. So just take my word for it. Believe me, Bill O'Reilly, I don't need to hear you sing. I'm sure that you would manage to make a joyful sound like screeching from the depths. And not just because your voice is bad, but simply because every time you open your mouth, Bill O'Reilly, it's just, when they open the golden egg in Harry Potter above water that has the mermaid's voices in it, that's what every time he talks sounds like. Suppose, however, against all reason, I had decided in high school that I wanted to sing in the chorus. I forgot that this is about how you shouldn't have good self esteem. I suppose my answer is if you weren't able to sing and in school you decided you wanted to sing in the chorus, that you would simply practice and learn. Want to know how I know that? I majored in opera at a high school that you had to audition for, and I couldn't sing for shit when I was in school. And I did want to be in the chorus, so I practiced, and singing is a skill that you can learn. So maybe teach children that they can just learn to do things and not that, oh, no, you should just stop because you're going to embarrass yourself. And that's having false sense esteem. Uh, okay, Alex, we get it. Stop the preaching, or as the cool kids say, stop the yapping. Yeah, I haven't been reading those comments out because I'm not going to do preaching for somebody. I could probably stop them, but seeing as how they're not saying anything like, uh, uh, I was like, wait, let me double check before I say he's not saying anything terribly hateful. No, it seems boilerplate, so I just kind of let it ride rather than going through the clicking. But I probably started protecting the kids because seeing cruelty at a young age can make anyone into a monster. Cruelty either brings out the worst in people or the best. Yo, I feel like I don't believe in needing to go through terrible stuff to be a good person, but I am lucky that the repercussions of me getting bullied in school where both that I question myself harder now, which is bad, but in good ways, I am much more afraid or much more angry when I see people being treated poorly because I'm like, shit, bro, I remember exactly how school was and bullying and all that. And it's terrible. So let's read more about how kids should bully other kids. In my day, the music teacher would politely say no, as he well should, and that would be that. No, your teacher would probably just teach you things. Either the self esteem police, who have greatly influenced the world or enter the self-esteem police who have greatly influenced the world in which we live today. I love that he's so mad about anybody feeling good about themselves. He just absolutely cannot take it. According to them, my feelings would be hurt by this decision. I would feel rejected. My self esteem would be damaged. So, in order to make me feel greater self esteem, the music teacher would be forced to accept me. And he, the rest of the chorus, and any unlucky audience we might entertain would be forced to endure my horrible yelps. That is still true of you, Bill O'Reilly, that we are forced to endure your horrible yelps. And now I'm also helping you put out horrible yelps because I'm reading your book, but whatever. But forget the music. I would have supposedly maintained my self esteem by being allowed to participate in the chorus. This is dangerous nonsense. I love how angry he is. What does that say? Oh, you were bullied. My condolences. The more you complain about your life, the more you make sense. You're truly a puzzle. Thank you. I do appreciate that. I feel like I'm really all over the place. And that's also part of why I haven't gone back and deleted a lot of my old videos or privated the ones of me as a kid. Cause I'm like, I'm a lot of things and I'm a weird person who's really cringy. So that's fine. I'm going to keep all my weird cringe just up and let people see who I am as much as I can. And I try to be really open about the things that I'm talking about and honest. That's what I'm trying to do, at least, not hold too much back. But I have seen, as you probably have, this mad idea taken to weird extremes. Really afraid to see what weird extremes he's about to mention. A kid doesn't make the football team, so his father picks a fist fight with the coach, defending his son's self esteem. Okay, that is, yeah, I mean, parents shouldn't get in fist fights with coaches if your kid doesn't make the team. But also, I hate you, Bill O'Reilly. Yeah, I'm just going to go with that. A girl doesn't make the grades she wants in her favorite class, so her mother makes the teacher's life a living hell. These types of parents are a major reason why good teachers quit teaching, as I've mentioned. And yeah, here are the two things to remember when you see that kind of behavior: that false self esteem is not really self esteem. Oh my God. Okay. So I have a highlighted part in here. It's really weird to see what the highlighted parts are now that I'm an adult because I definitely did those highlights when I was 12. But he's talking about how kids are mad that they don't have good enough self esteem to get onto the football team. And a thing I have highlighted just says, I was smart and strong enough on the field to become quarterback of the football team. Of course, he's making fun of children on one page and then bragging on the next. That's exactly what this book is just shit talking small children and then bragging about how great he is and how smart he is and how wonderful his show is. But let's go back to the real thing, the original notion of self-esteem. When you look honestly at yourself, you will be able to capitalize on your strengths and deal with your weaknesses. I couldn't sing, but I was smart and strong enough on the field to become quarterback of the football team. So far, so good. I looked honestly at one weakness and played up one strength. Oh, God, he said, but I didn't go far enough. Please, no, don't teach children to go farther with picking out the things that are bad about them. I I don't think that children need to do that. I don't think to become better they need to figure out the ways in which they suck so that they can avoid doing anything that's related to things that aren't their greatest strengths. You should be encouraging children to try new things, but okay. Makes me wonder if that book motivated you to be a better person or demotivated you when you read it back then. I think it radicalized me at the time. I think I just took the things that it was saying at face value for the most part, at least for a few years, because I was really conservative when I was a kid. because I believed it. I had another book that was called, it was also by Bill O'Reilly, and it was called How to Talk to a Liberal If You Absolutely Have to. And it was another children's book. So it clearly, he wasn't trying to be a good person and teach people good morals or how to not be really, really biased. He was very much about like teaching kids that conservatism is the right way, blah, blah, blah. But, ugh, okay. I want you to go much further than I did. Yikes. For example, I was too lazy, weak, or insecure to work on a third group of my characteristics, weaknesses that I had the potential to be strengths if only I had been smart enough to work at them. Okay, now he gets to pointing out that, hey, you can get better at things. That should be there should be two categories. It should be things you're good at and things you can get better at, not things you're good at, things you're bad at. And then if you have time, you can start thinking about the things that you might be able to get good at. That's insane advice for children. I feel like this probably was really bad for me and my self-esteem at the time, because I do remember believing that a lot of people had false self-esteem and that you shouldn't have false self-esteem, which now I'm like, absolutely you should have false self-esteem. That's 100% you should. Fake it till you make it, my dude. Absolutely, just try. And then, yeah, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But I'd rather have false self esteem than none. Okay. Here's what I mean. Maybe because I went to an all boys school, I was terrible at meeting girls my age. Oh, funny enough, he's still terrible at meeting girls his age because he goes for a bunch of 20 something year olds who work for him. My cheap clothes and gangly looks didn't help, but that's no excuse. Yeah, no, because cheap clothes and gangly looks is basically all I go for. So, and that every hot girl goes for. What can I say, man? I could have tried harder, asked for advice, or just persisted until I learned how to present myself to the opposite sex. Oh, no, okay. It's he shouldn't just persist. Actually, I don't think that that's good. But he should, I mean, try to interact with other people and get better at talking to women like other human beings. But he definitely shouldn't be persistent about trying to get women. And I think that that is a super weird thing to teach in a children's book. Again, this is a book for kids, and it's teaching that you should be persistent with girls. Huge yikes. Again, huge yikes coming from somebody who had to settle millions of dollars in workplace harassment. Also, because no one had encouraged me, I didn't realize that I had talent as a writer and speaker. Well, you don't believe in other people encouraging you. You just said it on another page that other people, false self esteem is not actually real self esteem if it comes from other people, you're saying. So you're saying now that you didn't get started writing and speaking earlier because you didn't get that false self esteem from other people? Looks like having support actually does matter, Bill O'Reilly. Difference between perseverance and persistent. Exactly. Like you can try to like persevere in relationship or in getting better at talking to whoever you're interested in. That's fine, but that is very different than persistence with somebody you're interested in. Don't like that at all. Persistence was the wrong word to use. Yeah, contradiction getting stronger. Also, bro's definitely not talented by today's standards. Facts, which is why nobody watches his weird podcast that I'm pretty sure still exists. I'll look it up eventually and find out, but whatever. Yikes, yikes, yikes. I remember wanting to do more in these fields, but I didn't have confidence or what we now call, you guessed it, self esteem. Well, because he didn't have self esteem because he wasn't getting encouraged, but you can't get self esteem from being encouraged. The next sentence is, and that's no one's fault but my own. Since I wanted to write, I should have worked harder on my writing skills right then instead of waiting until college. Revving up the necessary self esteem was my responsibility, and I blew it. He said he said because no one had encouraged him, he didn't do it. But then, yeah, he should have done it on his own, but he wouldn't if he had recognized that as one of the things that he's not good at and then not done it because he's encouraging kids to not do things that they're not good at. So if you thought that you couldn't write or speak, then by your own logic, you shouldn't have done that. But makes me wonder if Ted Bundy a better person than bro, dude, this is genuinely one of the worst people on earth. He's certainly one of the worst people alive for the amount of vitriolic hate he's put into America. And I would say that he is a large part of the terrifying, like, radical people that we have today. And I mean, he paved the way for Trump. So he's done a lot of terrible things in this world and affected a lot of people really, really horribly. To sum up, healthy self esteem is good for you if you develop it on your own by honestly looking at your strengths and weaknesses. The fake self esteem doled out by some parents and teachers today is poison. That's just encouragement. The thing that you said before that you needed. I am really belaboring this point because every sentence contradicts itself and it's insane. But his lore is worse than any terrible anime villain who got beef against the entire world. Dude, he literally does. Uh okay, it just said no, it comes directly from the inner O'Reilly. Fake self-esteem. So, by the way, just for the record, my song Strong Self Esteem, which is pretty obvious throughout this book, has nothing to do with the number of books I've sold or the number of viewers my television program attracts every night. Dude, he really had to say it like that. The number of books I've sold or the number of viewers my television program attracts every night. Congratulations to you, sir, that you get a lot of views. Skip this part, it's too boring. Fair. All right. I don't want to do sports. I'm going to go to more pinheads and smart operators, I think, because I really love him telling me what is a smart kid and who sucks. A pinhead who is a kid who spreads stories about other people. Okay, again, read my story whenever you feel bored of the section you're reading. Copy that. Uh, a yeah, it makes no difference whether or not they're true, although most times they're not. Bill O'Reilly said tons of untrue shit on his show all the time. Once a tale goes around, it's out there forever, like all the lies that he told. Decades from now, when you meet a friend from school, you'll both remember the stories you heard about other people. What? I talked to one of my best friends from middle school a lot, and we do not remember most of what people said in school because we are in our 30s. So why would we do that? That makes me feel like Bill O'Reilly's just out here remembering every bad thing anybody ever said to him, and it's cringe as hell. Lives get ruined this way. Let the tales stop with you. Make it very clear you're not interested in hearing it or sharing it. DEGT. We got to look up again in the I am glossary what he thinks that means. Don't even go there. Don't even go there. All right, dumb. Uh, Pinhead is a kid who brags about how much money she has or how much money she's spent on something. Why is it she again? It's only she for the weird things and stuff about like spending too much money or yapping. That's so weird. Middle school was crazy for me, but it made me realize my life was a lie, still alive, but a lie I never wanted it to be. Oh no. Oh, honey baby. I'm so sorry. Uh, oh my God. A pinhead, yes. Somebody brags about how much money she has. You have to hope someone will tell her how stupid she sounds. This is a book for children. You should not encourage somebody to tell somebody that they're stupid or sound stupid. Did she get these vast sums of money because she earned them? I don't think so. So she's got nothing to boast about. The use of she is weird, but if it were nowadays, it is very likely that some stupid kid got vast sums of money on their own. That's what the internet is. Pinhead, bored millionaires, bullies, doesn't respect, doesn't follow rules. Yep, that's everybody. A smart operator is a kid who gets a decent night's sleep so that everyone else doesn't have to suffer with him the next day. Okay. A smart operator understands that manners make life better for everyone. Blah, blah, blah. Who cares? Knowing when to call an older woman ma'am and when not to are the kinds of social rules one can easily learn. But real manners go deeper than that. Real manners entail behaving in a way that makes things pleasant for others around you. Bill, my dude O'Reilly, you, oh my God, you hate everybody. You want everybody to hate themselves. So, no, you have never made things pleasant for others around you, not a day in your life. And also, what does he mean by knowing when to call an older woman ma'am and when not to? I'm from the South. I call everybody ma'am, whether she's older than me or not. It's like, even the dudes, I call many of them ma'am. I don't give a shit. Everybody's getting ma'amed all over the place. When you don't get enough rest, you're cranky at home. Blah, blah, blah. Common for teenagers. Who gives a shit? A kid who shoplifts, and especially a kid who says that it's fun. Shoplifting is theft. Theft is a crime. Good to know, Bill O'Reilly. You're really teaching me. Asking a kid if they earn money is dumb to think. It's so many of these things are dumb. Finna call 40-year-old baby mama at the club ma'am, trying to be respectful. Hey, she is ma'am. Just because she's got kids doesn't mean she shouldn't get to enjoy herself at the club sometimes. And I'm gonna be 40 in not that long, I guess. And yeah, I love if people call me ma'am. But oh my God, I'm sorry. The first line of this, I just got to it, and it was, in some countries, thieves get their hands cut off. 0 to 100, dude. I'm telling you, it just happens so much in this. But that's a bit much for a tube of lip gloss, but it's worth remembering. He assumed that I stole lip gloss. When you steal, you cause prices to be raised for everyone else. No, you don't. No, you don't. You're fine. There's nothing morally wrong about shoplifting from a Walmart. Really sorry to tell you that, but it's going to be fine. You're not getting the prices raised because you stole a tube of lip gloss. It's That's one of the dumber things in this book, and it is a truly stupid book. So that is really saying something. Okay, so you get prices caused to be raised for everybody. Uh, Still, that's not the point. Theft is wrong. Refer to my chapter on cheating. And it's definitely not proof of how clever you are, just the opposite. I think if you can successfully steal from Walmart, not Target, don't steal from Target. They will come after you, and don't steal too much from Walmart. But I do respect you, and I do think you're clever if you're able to do that. So come at me. I'm not saying I would do it. I'm saying I respect it. A smart operator remembers the birthdays of friends and family members. Write them down. This man strikes me as the type of person who fucking needs people to wish him happy birthday. He needs happy birthdays more than anything in this world. Did he make the book before or after he went clinically insane? Well, this is a political book for children that makes fun of kids a lot. So I would argue that he was clinically insane to begin with, because he also talks a lot about his childhood and he sounds like a psychopath. So I would argue his entire life is after he went clinically insane. Um, you don't have to buy expensive presents to make somebody happy, blah, blah, blah. Any mention or kindness will make their day, blah, blah, blah. That's great. By the way, you don't have to wait for birthdays. Get up early some morning and surprise your parents by doing some chore that's usually theirs. Showing appreciation to others is always the right thing to do. IYNW, if you know what I mean. I did look up in the glossary earlier. Uh, so what I was saying, yes. Pinhead Gambles. This, again, is a book for 12-year-olds, but okay. Thank you for teaching me that I shouldn't gamble as a 12-year-old, Bill O'Reilly. This is super helpful information. There's a reason why state-sponsored lotteries are called the stupid tax. Who calls it that? I've never heard it called that. And it also seems really rude. The odds are stacked against you in every kind of gambling there is. It's the losers who pay, and the winners, rare. Very, very rare. I've never understood people who claim that it's fun to gamble away their money. This is for 12-year-olds. I work too hard at earning mine. It's no fun for me to see it disappear. Well, they have games. Is you put money on the games and then you play games, and that's the fun part, is playing games. But whatever. And gambling, like drugs and alcohol, can grab you by the throat, get addicted, and ruin your life. Oh, get you addicted and ruin your life. I'm like, the gambling, drugs, and alcohol can get addicted to themselves. Riley literally explains the smart operator is an overworked, stressed student who's on the verge of committing self damage because they are a robot, no longer human. They live to please other people. That is literally, thank you for so succinctly expressing what is happening in this book and how he's describing people, because it's the craziest thing in the world. It's fun, first of all. Let's see what his opinion of fun is. Uh, being inappropriate with your staff seems like his opinion of fun. Uh, I mean it. If you don't enjoy life, all the money, fame, and possessions you pile up will mean nothing. You'll be bored and boring. And as we know from earlier, there's nothing Bill O'Reilly hates more than a boring person, especially a boring child. Bill O'Reilly is not here for boring children or bored children. That's not all right. At the same time, you have to balance fun with the rest of your life. It's not healthy fun if, let's find out what this bold list of unhealthy fun things are. If it interferes with your family and school responsibilities, I don't know. Oh, okay, not healthy fun. I was going to say plenty of things are fun that interfere with your responsibilities. It's not healthy fun if it costs more money than you and your family can really afford. Yeah. It's truly dangerous or involves substance abuse. I am going to say that some forms of substance abuse absolutely are going to be fun and very funny, but uh, don't do things that are dangerous. I am one of the biggest proponents of please don't do dangerous things. I am such a baby and I'm from Central Florida and I've watched too many people jump out of windows of third floors. So don't do that. Fun for me nowadays is getting excited to go to bed and a few extracurricular side projects I partake in that I use to keep myself sane, and video games sometimes. Very fair, Bling, dude, for real, because My fun nowadays is this and sewing, and like I like making cosplay stuff. I should do that more on stream because that was a fun stream the other night when we did that. But it's that and sleeping and staying in. I might actually go out tonight. Like after I'm done streaming, who knows? I might go to a bar. It's still really early. Who's to say? That might be fun. Leave a like if I should go to the bar later. There's not enough people watching for that to really be a thing. Anyways, uh it's not healthy fun if it hurts someone else's feelings or involves you in using another person. But he spent most of this time hurting feelings. Ah, cosplay, furry or no, anime or DC Marvel. I believe in shaming furries. Those are children's costumes. It's not acceptable. Furries are not doing an okay thing. I disagree wholeheartedly. I don't really watch anime, but I am making a Sailor Jupiter costume, or made a Sailor Jupiter costume for Halloween. So that's pretty sick. And then DC and Marvel, I don't cosplay as, but I do have a lot of Marvel merch just from being on the crew for years. So I've got a lot of stuff that is for like specific shows and say like casting crew and stuff on hats and shirts. So that's pretty fun. Uh, I flipped a page and sometimes I just see the weirdest stuff. For instance, if you're a bully and you think you enjoy pantsing a kid who's younger or weaker, include that. Include what? Bro should be named the contradictor with the type of stuff he mentions. Nah, he's worse than the diddler. Well, he is one because that's what he settled all those workplace harassment suits for. Okay. Sorry to start with negatives, but now that we've got them out of the way, let's look at some of the positives. Wait, negatives of what? I love. Oh, okay. Yeah, that was how to not have healthy fun. Write down a list of all the things you find the most fun, even stupid things. If you really enjoy sticking a french fry in your ear in order to get a disgusted reaction from a girl, write that down too. No one but you will see this list, so have fun with it. That is the most specific thing. He definitely did that. He definitely like sticking fries in his ears to disgust girls. Okay. If you enjoy doing something that a friend thinks is nerdy or gay, know that your secret's safe with me. This is why I have to read a line ahead, and I didn't read a line ahead that time, but I'm so excited that I didn't, so that we all got to experience this moment together where Bill O'Reilly says, yeah, if you enjoy doing something that a friend thinks is nerdy or gay, know that your secret's safe with me. Oh, bro put a french fry in his ear to attract a girl. Goofy ritual. Yes, and then makes fun of doing things that are gay. I have my highlighter here with me, and I don't know why I haven't been highlighting some of the best things, because the that your friend thinks is nerdy or gay, know that your secret's safe with me is so funny. Write down whatever you like doing, no matter how silly or embarrassing you think it is, like gay shit. Gay shit, silly and embarrassing. You should write that down on your silly, embarrassing list, and then I'm going to make fun of you for it. Even if you have fun doing something that breaks one of my 6 O'Reilly rules above, write that down too. Yeah, which numbers do I like breaking? I like interfering with my responsibilities. I do like spending more money than I can afford. I do like doing dangerous. No, I don't like doing dangerous things, but it says, or that includes substance abuse. So that's like a half on that one. It hurts someone else's feelings or involves you in using another person. I'm not down for that one. It leaves you too exhausted. Not down for that one. It's against the law. Super down for that one. So we're at 4.5 of the 6 O'Reilly rules I like breaking, but whatever. And yeah, it's saying that if you enjoy pantsing a kid who's younger or weaker, include that in the list. Super weird. Let's hope nobody ever finds this list because it will include all the weirdest fucking things that you like doing. And then Bill O'Reilly will call those things gay. Your finished list will be like a profile, you know, the kind the FBI puts out when they're looking for a serial killer. Why is this man telling 12-year-olds that they need to make an FBI serial killer profile of themselves? This is the weirdest advice. But really, this list presents a snapshot of who you are inside. Now let's look at it together. Although I can't see your list, I was going to say, let's look at it together. How? You can't see my list. I can suggest some questions you might want to ask yourself about it. Do you have the most fun doing things by yourself or with others? Or do you enjoy a little bit of both? I enjoy doing this alone and having you guys hang out and be in the chat. That is what I enjoy. You sure you didn't accidentally make an FBI list? Yeah, dude, this is the weirdest thing. Okay. Do you have the most fun reading and watching, or do you enjoy writing and performing more? These both. Thank you for the like, lovely viewer, beautiful person. I've meant to thank everybody for that because it's really sweet. uh was teasing other people on your list? If so, do you really enjoy it, or is something else going on? uh Teasing people is such a weird thing. Does anything on your list surprise you? Did any activity you routinely engage with your friends not appear in your list? In other words, are you doing things that you really don't want to? Blah blah blah, going to a certain dance or doing things everyone else thinks is fun. uh Talking about peer pressure. Again, brutal for this man to talk about pressure, but you may even change your list as you look over it again. Cool. I don't care. Do not cross off something that you really like doing because you think someone else will think it's nerdy or gay. He didn't say that this time, but the fact that he said it last time is kind of crazy. For asking questions like if Diddy was interviewing Justin Bieber. Those questions are something Diddy would ask and check mark before taking you to his freak offs. Yo, thank you. This whole book seems like, I mean, I know Bill O'Reilly was doing a lot of that creepy Diddy stuff, but this is, so I guess it's all par for the course. And I really should have truly stayed expecting this whole time, but whatever. But we need to pause here for a warning. It's dumb to let yourself overdose on fun. You can't have too much fun. Teaching this to children. Do not have fun. Too much fun is like too much ice cream. You can get sick of it. Uh, but this man has already taught us we're not allowed to be bored or boring. So, what does he mean? That you can't, you don't want to become one of those kids who is always trying to get other people to ignore their homework or cut class to have fun instead. That's being a jerk. But having homework and going to class is boring. And this man hates boring people and bored children. So, do you want me to fix that or not? But it's being a jerk. The cool person finds fun even in those things that are required of him, like practice or homework. Okay, no, I know. But you also are not for living in fantasy worlds. So, what am I supposed to do? People really think kids have open access to drugs, bro. Drugs cost money. If you don't pay, you're just another statistic for the PD. Um, True, but also the town that I'm from was really big into drugs, and I did get offered many free ones as a child. And I know that, like, as an adult, that doesn't really happen, where it's like, who's trying to peer pressure you into doing drugs? Yeah, they cost money. But as a small child, at this age, yeah, but how old were you? It started at like 12 to 13. Yeah. I'm from Celebration, Florida. It is the town that Disney built, and everybody there was on something, and a huge amount of it too. So I saw people shooting up between their toes when I was like 14 at a party. Is I saw some bananas things. So yeah, I I agree with you mostly, but also personally, I have seen some wild shit. Uh, Same thing with trying to party every night. Parties are the dessert of life, not the main course. Okay, cool. That's fine. I'm going to keep moving. See, it's funny because I'm going to read ahead some at some point when I'm not on stream and highlight a bunch of stuff that I want to revisit with you guys. Because since I'm so worried about accidentally saying slurs while reading his book, I have to read ahead, and it means being quiet for a little bit. But then he'll say awesome stuff like calling shit gay randomly for no reason. Dumb fan sighting. Okay. I'm curious to see what this is going to be about. A teenage driver wearing a headset with the music turned up to the max, veering through traffic. Mr. Cool? Sorry, not even close. This is deadly dangerous to the driver and other people around him. Yeah, you're not supposed to wear headphones while driving. This might be one of the first really good pieces of advice that he's given. Yeah, don't wear headphones while driving. Okay. Traffic accidents don't wait to happen between songs. If you're in the car with this type of person, get him to stop this stupid behavior or get out. Uh, all right, whatever. Finally, aren't you happy one more thing is history? The world of rap and rock is just like the world of TV. It's one you want to control. Don't let it control you. Rap and rock? Yeah, the contradictor strikes again. Truly, this is just me saying opposite things or me reading opposite things over and over. But, I'm at least glad that he included rock when he brought up rap because knowing Bill O'Reilly, I wouldn't be surprised if there was an entire chapter about how rap is not good. But he is saying it's one you want to control. Don't let it control you. I don't know how you're really supposed to control what music other people put out, but whatever. Becoming obsessed with any form of entertainment will stunt your personal growth and prevent you from becoming a well rounded person. Say that to the people who watch Fox News, Bill O'Reilly. If you're attached to your MP3 player for hours at a time, watch out. Because was this before the iPod? The MP3 player. Yeah, I'm wondering if this book came out before the iPod existed. I don't know what year that was. But life passes quickly, and a mind is a terrible thing to waste. Rock on, but do it as recreation, not as an escape from the real world you have to live in. Oh no. Oh no. You know how I just said 2 seconds ago that I wouldn't be surprised if he had an entire chapter on how rap is bad? It's not a chapter, it doesn't look like, but I literally looked at the other page and it begins with the end of a sentence. Get bail money ready. Did you know that gangsta, he spelled it like that, rap is the most popular music in prison today? Stop. Fucking stop it. But I know I'm out of touch with the rap world. Yeah, you don't fucking say, Bill O'Reilly. So I'm not going to tell you what to listen to. I will suggest, though, that you sample all kinds of music, including the oldies. Yeah, where they talk about underage girls all the time, your weird old music. Music should be fun. Rap is fun. Sometimes it should be carefree and should make you want to dance. Other times it should help you relax and make the time pass on long drives. Okay, I'm gonna go back a page and see where he started talking about rap, and I'm really, really worried about it because it did. Oh, I did see the word gay again, so we're gonna figure out how that plays in. But my story, I've always liked music. My tastes are all over the place. I still listen to Elvis, the Beatles, the Beach Boys, and other stuff I grew up with, but I listen to lots of new music too. He just listed a few bands that feel very similar, but whatever. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. He says, I don't like rap, and I think gangster rap in particular is a total fraud. If you do what these guys and gals say they do, tell your parents to get bail money ready. Jesus fucking Christ. Dude, I was correct. I was absolutely correct when I said that I wouldn't be surprised if he just starts talking mad shit about rap. But yikes. Uh okay. Oh no, there's more. Oh no. Along with CDs, corporations want you to buy 1,000 other related items. New CD players with unnecessary bells and whistles, CD players, clothing that is supposed to make you look like a rock star or a gangsta. Why does he keep saying that? I'm just taking it all in. I'm just taking it all in. I could have turned out like the contradictor. Yo, that's the crazy thing to me. Oh, my thing paused for a second. Let me make sure my sound is still cut up. Okay. Sorry that you had to hear me for a second. But yeah, when I read this, my main takeaway, I think, is who I could have been had it not been for YouTube, actually. You'll see if you watch my super old videos on here that I probably shared a few opinions that were crazy, like some of the stuff that's in this book. Not exactly like the stuff that's in this book, but I I really had some stupid beliefs. And so having a YouTube channel and being exposed to so many different people on the internet and having so many different friends, all of which were like really cool and really looked out for me and were really lovely. No, I didn't say the rap stuff. No. The no. I have always loved rap. It has always been my favorite genre. And that was actually how I first started understanding what racism looks like in the modern world, being from a primarily white town. I told some kids once that my favorite genre was rap, and they were like, "Oh my god, that's so funny." And I was like, "Oh, you think it's funny because you view black people as different than you, and you think that you're better." That and that's everywhere actually, and like so many different people, and that was a crazy thing to realize. I think I was like, yeah, I must have been like the age where I was reading this, like 11 or 12 or something, when that first started to kind of sink in, the otherizing. And I think I talk about that a lot, that the only way to reflect on your own internal biases is to be like, in what ways do I treat other human beings as if they're not other full and complex human beings on their own, living just as full and complex of lives as I am. But yeah, this is super gross, and he really makes fun of anybody who likes rap. But uh oh, then he says, it's fun to listen to music that's new. It's fun to share it. It's fun to argue about whether emo or ska or screamo is worth listening to before they vanish from the scene. Uh, Let me highlight that one real quick, because maybe ska is kind of gone, but saying that emo or screamo are not worth listening to because they're about to vanish from the scene is fucking hysterical. That is too good, because millennial over here still absolutely listening to Escape the Fate every day. So get all the way out of here. But if you're papering your wall with CDs, you're falling into a trap. how are you papering your walls with CDs? I mean, my old house did used to have a bunch of CDs glued to the wall as the decoration. So I guess I was papering my walls with CDs, but it seems like an unusual thing. Certainly unusual enough that it seems weird to reference, but whatever. They're one set up for you by the music execs who just want your money. This man is all for the corporations who want your money. What's this? This is the Bill O'Reilly book for kids. It is a 2004 book that is called A Survival Guide for America's Families. And it is horrifying because I don't know if you know who Bill O'Reilly is, but he was a conservative commentator on Fox News, basically their flagship program that it was on at 8 p.m. every night. And I had to watch it my entire childhood growing up. And I also got given this book, The O'Reilly Factor for Kids, because his show was called The O'Reilly Factor, and it was very racist and sexist. And now he has a podcast, I think, if he's not dead, which he might be, I'm hoping. He's still around. I'm not positive, honestly. He might be. I'm not really sure. But I'm just out here hoping he's gone. He's not on Fox News anymore, though. He's on the internet now. And so people mostly ignore him or have, because I haven't heard anything about him in a long time. Why is he bringing up Mariah Carey? It says, why do you suppose Mariah Carey was fired from the record label she recorded for? Because of you. Not enough young people were buying her latest CD. I like that he's so angry about the treatment of Mariah Carey and also out here being like emo and screamo are going to vanish from the scene. uh, oh, never mind. I was going to say Devil May Cry had a spoof of Bill. Oh, nice. Hell yeah. I'm such a pinhead. I get bored so easily. So, what does your work require you to do? Uh, yeah, the book earlier was saying how pinheads get bored easily. But my work, I mostly work with the actors. I have a tattoo that calculates the actors' uh, overtime and meal penalties and stuff. Anyways, yeah, that's what I do. I run their schedules, mostly I run them through their schedules and have a hand in like deciding that sort of stuff. So, and I help set run. That's what assistant directors really do. And what's the obsession with DMC, bro? Dude, it's so weird. Oh, Alex, again with the yapping. Uh, yeah, the book now is going back to how much he doesn't like rap music. Oh, and then I switched to this page. So, and it says about as infantile as Eminem's last CD. I'm glad that he at least went with shit talking a white person because really assumed he was going to use this as an excuse to be extremely racist. But on the other hand, is probably because the only rapper whose name he knows is Eminem because he's white, and that was the only one that he was going to learn. I'm convinced Alex is a bot. Yeah, probably. If you can single-handedly mess up an actor's schedule, pretty cool. I can. I can absolutely mess up an actor's schedule, their whole day. And current rap is absolutely not trash. Have you heard Vince Staples' new album? Oh my god, I just caught him on the Black in America tour and it was the best. It was amazing. So, no, current rap absolutely not trash. Tyler the Creator just did he just put out a whole new album or was it just a single? I haven't gotten uh or I've only heard one. But have you heard Eladio? No, I haven't. But I will remember that if it's good because I'm about that. I love some new music, so thank you. Uh oh, okay. we're gonna see what he's gonna say more about rap. Uh, Listen up for yourself. You can't like music your parents. You can like music your parents don't get, but you don't have to like it just because you think every other teen does. Don't get swept away by the hype. Make up your own mind about what music you like. Eminem sells millions. So what? Let him sell billions. Does that mean you have to go along with the crowd? Allen Iverson is an amazing basketball player. You can admire him for that without buying his rap CDs. Yeah, it's okay. They diss women and gays and use gutter language. Okay, he literally called something gay earlier in this book. He literally called somebody gay or called something he said nerdy or gay. So yeah, current rap is good. And do I know Spanish? I know most of the Our Father in Spanish, the Catholic prayer, and I mean I can understand some. So if Eladio is a Spanish rapper, I'm super about it because I'm trying to get better. So listening to Spanish rap is probably the best way. What I've currently been doing, I really enjoy trials. So I look up like uh what's it like Corte de Judicio, Amber Heard, and then watch somebody talk about a trial I've seen a bunch of times, but in Spanish, because then I can pick up lots of stuff from context clues, but I'm still learning things. So, yay for YouTube. Mm. Back to the Eminem slander. Okay, yeah, I do need to highlight they diss women and gays because this man also disses the gays. Nope. How I was like, oh, I can sometimes understand Spanish. Don't understand that one. Sorry. Yeah, my Spanish is super American. Oh my god, it's so stupid. Like I used to be able to pronounce stuff better, and I just lost it because I wasn't talking enough. I really need to. Otherwise, even when I do learn it, nobody's going to be able to understand me. They're just going to be like, "You sound stupid." Uh, okay, and also Eminem is great about women and gays, like in the real world in his music, even if it's not being serious. I think that Bill O'Reilly doesn't understand how any music works, and very much not Eminem's music, but whatever. Do you think it's cool to play an album with dirty, sexually explicit lyrics when you know your parents won't like it? Yeah, dude, I listened to an Eminem album when I was a little kid, knowing my parents would hate it, and it felt like the coolest thing in the world. So, absolutely, you should definitely do that. And I said, "Do you know what I say?" Nope, I didn't understand it. Sorry, I'm dumb as rocks. Uh, uh, Eminem doesn't care about gay people or anyone except his own life. That's why he's a good rapper. He's not stuck inside his head thinking about other people. I see, I don't know what his stances are, but seeing as he hates Trump so much, but like feels really passionately about it, I feel like he's not just only thinking about himself. Then again, I haven't like watched any interviews with him or anything, but he doesn't strike me as a 100% self-absorbed person, but I wouldn't know. Uh, how infantile is that? Liking an Eminem album, about as infantile as Eminem's latest CD. Oh, so, how do you decide when music is bad for you, possibly even dangerous? Actually, I think you already know the answer to that. If a song incites you to feel hatred towards someone else, white or black or gay or foreign, it's ugly and bad. His list of the four different types of people you can be is white, black, gay, or foreign. This book, this book, uh, white or black or gay or foreign. Oh boy. And by the way, if the song incites you to feel hatred towards somebody, it's ugly and bad. I need to, at the same time as doing this, just show clips of the O'Reilly factor and him saying the worst things you've ever heard in your life that are absolutely inciting hatred all over the place. Uh, oh, if a song shouts that women are put on earth just for the sexual pleasure of men or otherwise puts women down, it's dangerous. Again, this man lost his TV show for workplace harassment of women. So, O'Reilly Factor for kids, everybody. O'Reilly Factor for kids. Uh, if a song espouses taking money, acting out violent feelings, oh my God, uh, committing self harm. I'm not going to read what he said, but he's talking about if a song is singing about that as a means to be free, it's not music, it's madness. Well, yeah. If you're listening to a song about how freeing it is to cause harm towards yourself, that's not a good song. You shouldn't listen to that song. That's a bad one. Uh, and just because a song doesn't have lyrics that hurt or threaten you personally doesn't make it acceptable. Any song that glorifies destructive behavior is destructive, period. Blah, blah, blah. He's talking about look behind the scenes of the music business. Like with Diddler, just like the hustlers selling tobacco, see the smoking chapter. Ooh, I want to read the smoking chapter, honestly, because I quit cigarettes 2.5 years ago. So I'm sure I'm just going to agree with everything he says, but it's going to be funny how judgmental he's being about it because quitting cigarettes was like the hardest thing I've ever done. I still think about them every single day. And technically, I know exactly how long it's been. It's been 2 years and 9 months. I don't know how many days. I haven't checked recently, but I have an app that tells me how long it's been. So curious to see. Oh, thank you for being proud of me. I really appreciate that. Um, I yeah didn't enjoy quitting, but it was super worth it, and I feel way better. And every time I take a big breath of air, and I really get to feel it, and it doesn't hurt to inhale that much, then I'm glad that I quit cigarettes. But I'm sure his chapter on it's just going to be really judgmental and terrible. Uh, so the smoking chapter. Their business, like most others, is designed to make people part with their money. Why is he like this? Because he loves getting people to part with their money. He's like got the worst. Okay. And your generation happens to have a lot of disposable cash. I need to underline that because no, we do not. Can somebody tell me where all this disposable cash is that I have and that my whole generation has? All this disposable cash our generation has. Get the fuck out of here. You have to go down from the mountain you climbed. Oh, yeah, for addiction. God, the more you decide to give in the addiction, the worse the mountain gets to go down. Dude, truly, it gets so hard. I'm really proud of you for handling any of your addictions. It's so difficult. Oh my God. It says in parentheses, that's right. Advertisers targeting your money think you are the richest generation to date. They call you the six pocket generation because they think that you not only have money of your own, but that you can get money from your parents and your grandparents too. This man truly misunderstands how poor this generation is. Yikes. How much do you spend on CDs every month? Uh, Nothing. None. I'm handling mine bad, but I only started again 4 months ago or seven. I lost track of who I am supposed to be. Oh, honey. Uh, yeah. I know that you can do it 4 months ago or seven. lost track of who you're supposed to be. That's okay because 4 months and 7 months ago feels like it's been so long and that you're like so back in it and trapped in it, but you're not. I smoked from the time I was 13 to 29. And by the time I quit, I was smoking 2 packs a day. So it is, I really do believe in you. No matter how long you've been doing something, I know that it is, addiction is possible to beat, you know? So I believe in you so hard. Uh, yeah, it's just asking about how many CDs I buy a month, which is 0. So 13. Uh, well, my phone's dying. Kids heard that story, they're gonna think he was cooked. Dude, uh it was crazy. I definitely did way too many drugs as a kid and got into smoking really early and definitely shouldn't have been doing any of that. But oh, my charger's so far away and my phone is going to die pretty soon. So I'm wondering if we're going to start wrapping up stream because it's been 116 minutes. But that's actually really fun. I don't know if I've streamed for this long at any point, and this has been so chill. I'll keep going for another minute, uh, or I could just be really in the dark. Well, here, we're gonna scooch over. Listen to my story before you go. Oh, I've got uh, chat replay, I believe, so I can double check it. All right, guys, we're over here in the worst lighting for a minute because I got to plug my phone in. But, oh, I can't plug my phone in because it plugs into the same spot where my microphone plugs in. All right, well, then I'm just going to have to boogie on out. Uh, this is showcase the paintings later if you can. Cool. Yeah, you guys, this has been super fun. Leave a like if you haven't. I don't think I've gotten 10 likes on a stream, so that's pretty fun. This has been really, really amusing. I really enjoy watching movies and saying what's happening as that's going on, but reading from the Bill O'Reilly book, I think, is even better. I think this is incredible. I'm having an awesome time with it. So I hope you guys are having fun. If you're on the rewatch crew, thank you for sitting through 117 minutes of this because that's kind of crazy. You guys are magical and beautiful and amazing, and I can't believe that you've given me any attention at all, and especially while reading the weird Bill O'Reilly book. And yeah, so I hope that you have a wonderful evening. You guys are all the greatest. And subscribe if you're not. Yeah, that's all the things was like and subscribe. We got this. I'm YouTubing now again. So y'all are great. See you later. Bye. I'll see you tomorrow.